It's great to see so many teams here. Welcome. I hope you all enjoyed, that you had some good training and a good time, most importantly, and welcome to the discussion. I prepared to discuss a few of the hands with you that you just played, and if you have any more questions, just write them in the chat, and I will try to answer as many questions as possible. So we will start with board 2. And I thought this was a very interesting hand on the bidding, both for north-south and east-west. And you might think it would only be for north-south because they have all the hiker points. But I think it's also a good board for east-west. So north-south here can make only, or they can make 5 spades, but actually 6 spades I think is a very good contract. You have very good chances to make 6 spades if the diamonds break, or if the clubs break, or if you can ruff a club in the dummy if the spades are 2-2, and you have a lot of squeeze chances. As it is, you do not make 6 spades, but I think it is very well worth to bid 6 spades, and I would say well done to the north-south pairs that got to slam, even though most of them went down. I would still say very well done in the bidding. You did well to get to slam. So I would say that south at most tables opens 1 spade. And now is the question, should west interfere in the bidding? Because you have only 7 points and you don't have a 7-card suit, and your 6-card suit is not super great. But I think it's very well worth to get into the bidding when you are not vulnerable and the opponents are vulnerable, because it's just so good to disturb the opponents. And if you pass, I think the right bidding would be, so west passes and north probably will bid 2 spades. Oh, sorry. I see that east passes, south opens 1 spade, pass, north will bid 2 spades, east will pass again. So now is the question, what should south bid? So of course this depends a lot on your methods. Maybe you can bid 3 clubs or 3 diamonds, or you bid like short shoot trials, but I think these kind of bids can make it very hard, like your partner doesn't know if you should want to invite for game or if you want to invite for slam. So it's usually good to directly show what you're aiming at, like if you're aiming at game or if you're aiming at slam. And this south hand is clearly aiming at slam, like for sure you want to play game. And if north doesn't have anything in hearts, maybe you can make 6 spades. So I think south here should bid 4 hearts. This is not natural. If you have hearts, maybe you can bid 3 hearts if that's natural in your system, and then bid 4 hearts. You certainly cannot have longer hearts than spades, because then you open 1 heart. So there's no reason to really strongly suggest to play 4 hearts. So 4 hearts should be a shortness here. Splinter, maybe even void in your system. So west will pass again. And now north has 3 little hearts, 9 points, which is usually maximum for your 2 spade bid. So north for sure should bid something positive. So I think north can bid blackwood, pass, and then depending on your methods, maybe if south already showed the void, you do not have to repeat the void. Otherwise, you can maybe show odd number of key cards with the void, depending on your agreement. That could be 5 no trump, or 6 hearts maybe, or 6 clubs. Let's say that you play that 5 no trump shows an even number of key cards in the void. The 4 hearts deny a cubit in clubs and diamonds. I think if you show a splinter, it does not necessarily deny a cubit, because it's important to directly show the shortness. And since you have nothing in hearts, it's actually quite a good chance that you have a cubit in clubs and diamonds, because your partner shown like 6 to 9 points with 3 spades. If you have nothing in hearts, it's very likely that you have a cubit in both clubs and diamonds. So it's not just a control bit here, it's a splinter. So say that south here, for instance, could respond 6 clubs, showing the even number of key cards, an odd number of key cards, and maybe even the king of clubs, if that's how you play it, and north will bid 6 spades. Unfortunately, 6 spades is doomed to go down. But I still would say well done to the north-south pairs that got to 6 spades. So now I would like to go back to the bidding, to if East-West should bid anything. So I think that it is correct for West to enter the auction here. I like to bid a lot at this vulnerability, like put the pressure on the opponents. It's not always right, but let them guess. It's more expensive for them to guess wrong when they are vulnerable than it is for you to guess wrong when you're not vulnerable. So dare to bid, and if you're insecure, bid one higher. So West bid 3 hearts. I like that, 3 hearts here. And North will bid 3 spades, and East will bid 4 hearts. And now you see it's already way more difficult for North-South, because now South, he cannot splinter anymore with 4 hearts. So now what should South bid? So maybe South can bid 5 hearts here. I don't know. I mean, it got a lot more difficult for South, because now he directly has to go over 4 spades himself. And North also has to guess. Like, there's no in-between hand between 5 hearts and 5 spades or 6 spades. So it just got way more difficult for the opponents. So let's say North bid 6 spades. So if West can overcall 2 hearts, I think usually 2 hearts is like more like opening strength. You could do it if you don't want to bid 3 hearts, just because partner has a passed hand and he won't normally start doubling things. But in general, I would prefer to bid 3 hearts rather than to overcall on the 2 level with such a weak hand, just to make it also clear for partner that you are wanting to save and that you don't have like an opening hand with maybe only 5 hearts. So it makes it easier for partner to make the right decision. Or 2 hearts. And then 2 clubs from South is opening bid. I mean, you certainly have enough playing strength. You have 5 spade tricks and ace king ace, 8 tricks. In general, I do not really like to open 2 clubs on a hand like this, because it makes it very hard for partner to judge which points are good and which are not. Like if partner has ace king of hearts and the king of diamonds or the queen of diamonds, he might think, oh, I have such a great hand. I have 2 heart tricks and I have the queen of diamonds. And you do not make anything. You do not make slam. He maybe not have an entry. So, and also on this hand, there's not really any risk. It will go 1 spade, pass, pass, pass. So in general, I'm pretty conservative in opening 2 clubs. Like I really like to have like 22 hiker points or more, or really like 10 tricks on my own hand that I'm super worried that they will go 1 spade, pass, pass, pass. And on this hand with 17 points, I would almost never open 2 clubs on 17 points. All right, any more questions about this hand? Otherwise, I will continue with the next one. I hope I didn't miss any of the questions. Okay, I will continue with board 7. All right, next board. So here South is the dealer, and South will open 1 spade normally, and West overcalls 2 diamonds. North makes a negative double. East usually passes. Some East bid 3 diamonds. I think it's okay, but normally pass. 2 hearts, pass. 3 hearts, pass. 4 hearts. I mean, I think there are a lot of reasonable alternatives on this auction. Like North could bid 4 hearts directly, or South can pass 3 hearts, or East can bid 3 diamonds. But I think I would bid like this. So West will lead the ace or the king of diamonds, depending on your agreements. Low, and East will play the 9 or the 6 again, depending on your agreements. So now West does not know for sure who has the singleton diamond. It could be South, or it could be East, but I would say it is more likely that South has a singleton diamond, because South has shown at least 5-4 in the majors. And if South has 3 diamonds, East will also have 7 card clubs. So it's certainly with the odds that it is South that has 3 diamonds, even though there's no guarantee. But So I think it's most likely West will shift to a club here. And now I think it's very interesting how South should play. Should you win the ace of clubs or should you duck the ace of clubs? And of course, both could be right. How do you know? Like West could have king third of clubs. You play low and it goes, they win the, or queen third of clubs and they can win it. And your jack nine of clubs prevents them from playing another club. Or you can win the ace of clubs and then draw the trumps and hook the spade and hope West doesn't have any more clubs. But how do you know? Of course, on this board, it's right to win the ace, because if you play low, East will win it, and he can give partner rough, and you still lose the king of spades. And if the king of spades is onside, it probably doesn't really matter, because then you are most likely to make the contract anyway. So what should you do? I think certainly on the tables where East bid something, but I don't think there were so many, it is right to play the ace, because it looks like West, you should play West for the king of spades, because if the king of spades is onside, it doesn't matter, you will always make the contract. And then most likely ace king of diamonds, and then East should have the missing club honors. If East didn't bid anything, it gets a lot harder, because now you're not sure about the club honors. As it is still right to take the ace. I think it's a hard decision. West can certainly have ace king six of diamonds and king third of clubs and king of one spades and two little hearts, so it's very hard to know. It also maybe it makes it easier West leads the king of diamonds, because then you're 100% sure he has ace king, because nobody leads the king from king jack 10 sixth. Well, you might lead the ace if you do not have a good alternative without having the king. So I think it's hard what you should do. I'm not sure. Of course, it's right on this board to win the ace. I don't think it's 100% clear play. I do think it is probably correct to win the ace. I mean, it's also only if the clubs are 3-3 that it matters, because if they are 4-2, they will be blocked anyway if you take the ace and draw the trumps. So it was a hard hand to play, and I would say well done to the north-south pairs that made it. Also, the two of clubs maybe kind of looks like it could be, I mean, it's a singleton or a 3-card suit or 4-card suit, I guess, but usually not a doubleton. If West had played a higher club, I would probably have played low, but I think on the two, I would have played ace. Why would North bid 3 hearts and not 4 on South 2 hearts? I think certainly North can bid 4 hearts also. I think both 3 hearts and 4 hearts are fine. I think if you maybe sometimes South could bid 2 hearts on a 3-card suit if he's completely stuck with 5 bad spades and king queen third of hearts. So maybe it would be nice to give him a little more or her a little more wiggling space by bidding 3 hearts. But I don't mind bidding 4 hearts either. I think that's 4 hearts is perfectly fine alternative also. And I can also see South. Yeah, I do think South should bid 4 hearts. Yeah, with a singleton and 13 points. Okay, does anyone have more questions about this one? How to bid board 1? If you don't mind, because I prepared a few hands, I will go through them and then I will do board 1 and answer any more questions about other boards. Is that all right? All right. Board 8. All right, next board. And this one is also, for me, a bit about the opening bid. Also, one of the questions that we had about the other hand, if South should open 2 clubs. So this is another hand with 17 points and a lot of playing strength in North. And I saw that a lot of North-South pairs played 1 heart, and I feel very sorry for you. Even though, I mean, I totally understand what happened, and I have a lot of sympathy for that. Obviously, North opened 1 heart, because if they opened 2 clubs, you wouldn't end up playing in 1 heart. But I like 1 heart, because also if you open 2 clubs, it feels that often the bidding gets very complicated. Wait, sorry. West will pass, North will open 1 heart. often after bidding 2 clubs, it gets very hard to get all your suits along. It goes 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, which might not even show hearts necessarily. And then maybe south will bid something, and then you have to bid 3 spades, and we don't know if you have 4 spades and 5 hearts or 4 spades and 6 hearts. It just gets very hard. So I like opening 1 heart. And east can pass or double or bid 2 diamonds. I'm personally not really a big fan of overcalling 2 of a minor or 5-card suits. I think also that's maybe a little bit Swedish. We like to really have 6-card suits or very good 5-card suits. So I would personally choose between pass and double here. But I mean, it's okay to bid 2 diamonds, but I wouldn't do it. Let's say east passes. So now it's up to south, and south had the ace of diamonds and like not really anything else. A bad 5-card suit, a bad 4-card suit, 2 little hearts. Yeah, and I see here in the comments with the ace, no pass, and that is exactly the point that I would have liked to make, that if you have an ace, just try to respond something to your partner opening bid. So I really, really like that rule. With the ace, just bid something and kind of protect your partner. And it might be that you get yourself too high, but an ace can be just so valuable. And I think it's also, since I do not really like opening 2 clubs on all kind of hands, that I have to respond lighter to kind of protect partner. So I would have bid 1 spade with south. West will pass. North has a very good hand. Will bid 4 clubs splinter. Pass. Well, south, I think, did more than enough here, so they will play 4 spades. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to get across the thing about opening 1 heart or opening 2 clubs, and also with the response that I would really, really like to respond with the ace. So I don't know if you have any more questions about this board, any more comments. How it might go over 2 diamonds overcall. So it will go 1 heart, 2 diamonds. Oh, wait, I can just go back on bidding. 1 heart, 2 diamonds. South will pass. South has the right shape for negative double, but with only 4 high points, there's no reason to get in the auction here. You don't have to protect partner for having such a strong hand, because partner will get another bid if partner has a strong hand. She can bid something herself. We do not have to protect partner for that. Okay, 2 diamonds pass. So West has 7 points and 3-card diamonds. She will bid 3 diamonds. So now it's up to North. North has the right strength for a double, but I think double with a void and unbid suit is usually very dangerous. So North can bid 3 hearts, but doesn't really get along the strength. North can bid 3 spades. This has the disadvantage of that if partner has nothing, he has to correct to 4 hearts. So North actually has a very hard bid here. So the 2 diamond overcall made it very difficult for North-South. I think I would bid 3 spades and just hope that partner has some spades or some hearts and that we survive playing in game. So now it's South. South still doesn't really have so much, but since North kind of forced to the 4 level by themselves, and you have an ace, I would bid 4 spades here. And how it might go double. Yeah, no, 3 spades I think is fine. Yeah. But I mean, it could be bad also. Like imagine that South has 3 little spades and 2 little diamonds and king 5th of clubs, and you have to play 4 hearts. So, I mean, it's not perfect, but I think it's good enough. And now out will go if East doubles. So again, I think South will pass. And West will probably bid 2 clubs. I think West has quite a good hand, but not really good enough for 3 clubs. That's more like invitational. And I think with 7 points, you're a little bit weak for that. So 2 clubs. So now I think North can double because you have the good strength and you have the unbid suits. East will pass because East already showed kind of support for all suits, and East has a minimum. So East should not bid 3 clubs here. I mean, if no partner is king, queen, 5th of clubs, if you bid 3 clubs here, you show more like extra strength and 4-card club support. So 2 clubs double pass. I mean, South, I think it's a little bit speculative to pass here with 10/5 of clubs and a minimum hand. I mean, you could do that, but I think it's a little bit of a gamble. South can be 2 spades. I don't mind bidding 2 hearts either. I mean, you have such a weak hand, and East often has 4 spades for the double. If South bid 2 spades, North might bid 4 spades or can bid 3 spades, and South can bid 4 spades. If South bids 2 hearts, West might still bid 3 clubs here also. I mean, there's so many things that can happen. Like, I don't want to say like there's one correct auction. We see already here, like North can choose between several opening bids, and then I think there are 3 reasonable alternatives with East, and then West might do something different, and North might do something different. So there are a lot of things that could happen here. If East and South both pass on 1 heart, I think West has a very easy pass. Like if East-West can make something and you have this hand, then partner should have bid something. Like there's no reason for West to reopen over 1 heart pass. You have 7 points. You do not have a stopper in hearts. You don't have 4 spades. There's just no reason to get into the auction here. Just whoever said that never let the opponents play on the 1 level, like this is a hand that you should let them play at the 1 level. If your partner cannot bid over 1 hard pass, then it just like do not get into the auction. So I don't know. Should I think if this is how the bidding starts, I think North will probably bid again. Yeah, maybe South can gamble to bid 4 hearts. He knows partner has avoiding clubs and he has ace and he hasn't really promised anything. But I mean, this is a little bit speculation. I'm not really sure how the bidding should go. There's not really any 100% correct. So many options. But I like to come up with the auction that ends in game. So maybe this is why I took this one. So I don't know if there are any more auctions that I didn't discuss. Did you have any questions about? Then we will continue with board 10. So here East is a dealer. 1 spade immediately from South. Yeah, I think if it goes 1 hard pass, I would certainly bid 1 spade. With the ace and 4 cards spades, yeah, I really like bidding 1 spade over 1 heart. If it would go 1 heart double on my right, I would not bid 1 spade, because now I don't feel like I have to protect partner with 4 points. Partner will get another chance to bid something. Also, the opponents could easily have 4 spades on their right. I'd like to have a better suit to bid 1 spade there, preferably 5 spades or a good 4-card suit and just a little more high-card points. So if it goes 1 hard pass, I really like 1 spade. 1 hard double, I really do not like 1 spade. All right, this hand. So East is the dealer, will pass. South will open 1 no trump, probably, if you play strong no trump. West will pass, and I just wanted to make sure that you all have an agreement what North should bid. If there's a system to show 5-5 in the majors, like if you play 14-16 no trump, you might not want to force the game. If you do play 15-17 no trump, it could still be right not to play game, but I would probably force the game just to make sure that you get to the right string. Quite often, if you're not really sure, but you have a lot of shape, it could be right to overbid a little bit just to make sure you get to the right suit. Like here, South has only 3-2 in the majors, but it could be that South has 4-2 in the majors, and that even 4 hearts might be better than 2 spades, or 4 spades might be better than 2 hearts if you pick the wrong major. So in general, if you are not sure, it could be better to overbid a little bit, but at least get to the right suit. That being said, if you play 14-16, I think it might be a little bit too much to force the game. You could maybe bid, if that's in your system, invitational 2 clubs, pass, and if South bids 2 of major, just raise that to 4, because the 9-card trump fit might do it. And if South would respond 2 diamonds, maybe bid 2 spades if that shows invitational for you, or 2 hearts if that shows invitational. I've seen a lot of the pairs bid here. 1 a trump, pass, 2 hearts transfer, pass, South will bid 2 spades, pass, and now 3 hearts, which I think for most pairs shows 5-5, as 5-4 hands usually starts by bidding Stamen and then Smolen. So I think this is also a fine way to bid the hand. And if that shows 5-5, then South should bid 4 hearts. I think 4 hearts is a pretty good contract here. You have at least 1 spade loser, possibly more. For sure, 1 club loser. As it is with the ace of spades on side and jack 4th of hearts here, you cannot make 4 hearts, but I think it's right to try it. And you also have extra chances. Maybe if they lead a diamond, you can try to pitch a club from the dummy. So I would certainly want to try being game on this one. And I just wanted to take up this hand to make sure that we all have an agreement on how you should play. Or not how you should play, but that we all have an agreement on that we agree with our partner how we play, which is very often the most important thing. Like there's often not a perfect solution, but the best thing is to agree with your partner that we know what we are doing. Not try to do the perfect thing, but do not worry about forgetting your agreements, and just try to avoid big accidents. We have played 3-no trump. Is it wrong? Actually, 3-no trump is not really anything wrong with as the contract. It might even be better on this hand than playing 4 hearts, because if the hearts are coming in, you need either the hearts or the diamonds to come in, assuming they will lead a club, and you will get a club trick. So you have 3 heart tricks, 3 diamond tricks, and a club of 7, and either the hearts have to come in or the diamonds have to come in, which is a very good chance. So 3-no trump is maybe even a better contract than 4 hearts. I didn't completely analyze which one is better, but 3-no trump is certainly a good contract. However, I do wonder if you knew exactly what was happening. Did you know that you had a 5-3 heart fit and then deliberately chosen to play 3-no trump, or weren't you really sure about the heart fit and then happened to end up in 3-no trump? Because if that's the case, then I would say that it's probably good to talk to your partner if there is a way to find the 5-3 heart fit. But I mean, 3-no trump was a fine contract. I guess it didn't make. But I would expect most pairs to bid 4 hearts here. You can bid 2 hearts transfer and then 4 hearts, 10 distribution points. That's true. However, I do feel that distribution points, they usually count if you have a big fit. If you do not really have a fit, you should be a bit careful by adding distribution points, because if you don't have a fit, you cannot take any roughs. If you don't have enough trumps to draw, it doesn't really help to add points for distribution. But I mean, I would force the game opposite a 15-17 no trump. So even though it could be a bit high, but I would have done that. All right. I see a question. Danai Georgiou, but I think you can just write the question in the chat. It's easiest. And also, if anybody else has a question, you can just write it in the chat. And if it's, how would you bid the same points with 4 card and bid 5? I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm not sure I understand the question. With 5-4 in the majors and the same amount of points? In that case, I would either bid Smolen, Stamen, and then bid Smolen. Or if I have 5 spades and 4 hearts and 8 points, I will probably bid 2 clubs. And then if partner bids 2 diamonds, in my system, 2 spades would be invitational. With 5 spades and 4 hearts, I would probably have bid that. How would you play 4 hearts after diamond lead? So I think I would have tried to pitch the club directly. The problem with drawing all the trumps and then trying to play the diamonds is that if the diamonds don't break, you have no entry back to the south end. So I think I would try, if they lead a diamond, I would probably run it to my hand, play a diamond to the king, heart to the ace, and then play ace of diamonds, pitching a club. And then later on use the king of hearts to play spade to the king. Okay. I will go through board 9 and board 1 and some other requests after. I think I have one more board that I prepared, and then I will do the questions on other boards after that, if that's all right. 13, yeah, perfect. That was one that I wanted to talk about as well. So I didn't see what everybody played on this hand. I thought it was a very interesting hand to play if you end up in 3-note trump in north-south. One possible option is, I think there are a lot of reasonable bits here. I mean, I can see north opening 1-note trump. Again, I don't mind 1 club, something 3 clubs, even 1 club, something 2 clubs could be fine. But yeah, north will open. Let's say north opens 1-note trump. Like, again, that, yeah, could be right, could be wrong. East will pass, and south has 8 points. But I think with such a good suit and side entry, south will probably be 3-note trump. I think, yeah, if you play 15-17. If you play puppet Stayman, you could beat puppet Stayman. If you don't play puppet Stayman, I think it's fine to beat 3-note trump. All right, pass. And east will lead a heart. Let's say it leads the 5 of hearts, 4th best. It's low. West will play the 9, and you win it. So now it's important to think right away, like, how do I make 9 tricks? Don't just think like I'm going to set up the diamonds, but try to make a plan. Like, how do I make 9 tricks? What is my best chance to make 9 tricks? Okay, why not transfer to diamonds? You can transfer to diamonds, but then you probably have to sign up in 3 diamonds. If you're just planning to transfer to diamonds and then make 3-note trump, for most people that shows a slam try. With this hand, I mean, if you want to play 3 diamonds, that's okay. But just to transfer and then be 3-note trump to show 6 diamonds, you need to have a reason to do that. Like, do you want to partner to bid 5 diamonds, or you want to play slam? Like, otherwise, it's better to just bid 3-note trump, not just show 6 diamonds just for the sake of it. Like, you need to have an intention with it. Like, you want to have a different contract that you want to play. All right, so on this hand, if you start by playing diamonds, which is like the most intuitive thing to do when you have queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7 in the dummy, the opponents will win the diamonds and they will play another heart, and you will play another diamond and they will cash their hearts. And whoever, one of them will have at least 5 hearts, so they will make 3 heart tricks and the ace, king of diamonds, and yeah, they will have 5 tricks before you can make 9 tricks. If you play diamonds, like, there's no way you're gonna make 9 tricks. So we have to think again, like, is there another way we can make 9 tricks? So another way to make 9 tricks would be to make 2 heart tricks. We can make 5 club tricks is 7, and at least 2 spade tricks is 9. Again, we have a problem because to make 5 club tricks, we need to give away a club trick and they will set up the heart. So for that plan to work, we have to have the king of clubs on side, and the clubs 3-2, and the king of spades on side. So the odds are not very high, but this is our only chance that we can make the contract. So to make 5 club tricks, there are 2 possibilities. Either you can play a low club from your hand, East West will win the club, and they will set up the heart. So now you have to hope for the best and pray. Spades, small, 10, and let's say the king is on side, they duck it. So now you play club, 10, queen, low. So now you have made 9 tricks. You were very lucky. This was not a very good game, but you made your 9 tricks. So, of course, yeah. And this is correct. It is better to start with spades. And also because it gives you another chance in the club suit. So let's start. You start by playing the spade directly. Goes low, low, 10. So again, let's hope that the king is onside, because if they win the king and clear the hearts, the hand is no fun. So go spade to the 10. Yes, exactly. Well, you can finesse the jack 10 in clubs. Yeah. So now if West had jack 10 third, or maybe sometimes it covers, or it just gives you some extra chances. Also, it could have given you an extra chance, but it would be a worse chance that if you play 9 of clubs, low queen, and they would have the stiff 10 or the stiff jack. Then you can go back to the spade and play another club and finesse the king 10 third. But that's a worse chance than jack 10 third onside. So spade to the 10, so you will play 9 of clubs, low, low. They win the jack, they will play another heart, low. You will repeat the spade finesse, which will still be onside, we hope, with ducat. And now you can finesse the clubs and hope for the best, because I mean, if this does not go well, you will go down a lot. Yeah, and then in this time, because you have enough entries to the south hand, assuming that the king of spades is onside, it is indeed like Carol says, it is better to start by playing clubs directly from the dummy. If you do not have enough entries, it could be fine to duck a club from your hand. And if you only have one entry then, and then play a club to the queen, or if your club spots had been worse, it would have been kind of the same by ducking a club first and then finessing later. Also, in general, again, it doesn't matter on this board, but it's a good practice to think about which pot cards you play in the suit. Like in some situations, it could be good to have unblocked the 9 of clubs here first, so that you cannot be stuck with it in the dummy. Again, it doesn't really matter, but say that you have played the 4 of clubs. And say that West had jack 10 third and he decides to play the 10. And he goes queen, and they win the king. Well, this was the jack, but... And now they play another heart, and now you play the 9 and they play low. And now you suddenly have blocked the suit. You cannot overtake the 9 anymore. So in general, just very good practice to think about your spot card suits. Like, how should I play them to keep the communication as open as possible? Even if you have like 5 spades in the dummy and 5 spades in your hand. Like, I've seen a lot of times that you have like ace fifth in one hand and king, queen, jack, 10, 9 in one hand. And then the first thing the player does is by starting with the ace, because we usually start with the highest one first. And that just hurts to my eyes, because it feels to me you have one entry to one hand and then 4 possible entries to the other hand. And the first thing you do is play the ace. Like, always try to keep as many possibilities open. Even if you don't really see why in the beginning, just try to do it. And you might be thankful later that you can still cross back and forth to both hands. What about cashing the ace of clubs first? Well, you could have done that also, but it does give up on the chance of jack 10 third onside. Or, I mean, I guess you would still have to guess that. You cannot double hook the clubs in that case. But after the finesse worked on the king, yeah. So if you play low club to the queen, you can play ace of clubs and give away a club, yeah. That's true. All right, so these were the boards I prepared. I got requests for board 1 and board 9. So I will go to these boards. I don't know if there were any specific questions about these boards. So how should the bidding go on board 1? So north is the deal. North will open 1 heart. East, I think, is a little bit light for 1 spade overcall. It's okay, you can do it, but I think it's a little bit light. One heart pass. So South has 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points, but not really a good fit. For me, it's a little bit light, a bit game forcing, although it does give you the advantage that you can more easily describe your hand, which is a big advantage. So, okay, let's say South bids 2 diamonds. It does have 12 points. 2 diamonds, West will pass, North will bid 2 hearts, East pass, South will bid 3 clubs, pass, and then North probably bids 3 no drum. I don't mind bidding, so in this case, South will pass. Or North can bid 3 hearts if you haven't shown 6 hearts yet. Another option could be 1 heart, pass. Maybe South only bids 1 no trump. Pass. North will bid 2 hearts. Pass. Now South is a little bit stuck because bidding 2 no trump with only Jack and 1 spade is not so nice. Why not 3 hearts and wait for 4 suit from partner? Yeah, you can bid 3 hearts also. I don't mind bidding 3 no trump because you have such a good spade stopper. I think if you have 3 hearts, you could also have ace, queen, 10, 9, 6 of hearts, and king, third of spades. Partner bid 3 spades, and I bid 3 no trump. Can bid 4 no trump, unusual. But that's usually only in competitive auctions. It's unusual to play unusual 4 no trump in an undisturbed auction. Although I guess 1 heart, 1 no trump, 2 hearts, 4 no trump. Maybe it could be minor since asking for aces doesn't really make any sense in this auction. But also, I mean, there's no guarantee you can make 5 clubs or 5 diamonds. So I would not certainly just give myself to the 5 level on this hand. Can bid 2 spades after 2 hearts. That's also true. Good point. Very good point. So 2 spades. For me, so this is impossible because you cannot have 4 spades. If you had 4 spades, you would have bid 1 spade rather than 1 no trump. So the question is, what does 2 spades show? Does it show a hand that is too good to bid 3 hearts? That's certainly a possible explanation, that you would say that 3 hearts is a little more of a courtesy and this is a stronger, or that this is maybe like in between 2 no trump and 3 hearts. Or you could say that 2 spades is just general too strong and that you will explain over partners 2 no trump what you have, but then still you're not really sure what you have. But yeah, it's a good point. After the 2 spades would be impossible. 2 hearts does not promise 6 cards. Well, no, not after if you respond 2 diamonds. I mean, some people still play that it responds 6, that it shows 6, and that other bits don't show extras. But for me, it could also be 5, yeah. So it could be possible to bid like this: 3 clubs, pass, 3 hearts, pass, 3 spades, pass, 3 no trump. Or South could bid 4 hearts after 3 hearts. I don't mind that. With the stiff jack of hearts, could still, even if partner has only 6 hearts, it could still be right to bid 4 hearts on the 6-1 fit rather than to play 3 no trump, especially if partner only has a single stopper in spades. Okay, you miscounted card. Yeah, so if you bid 2 clubs on 1 heart, then the bidding gets a little bit complicated after that. 2 clubs, pass, 2 hearts. Yeah, because now you might have to bid 3 diamonds, and that also doesn't really describe your hand very well. So in general, just try to make sure that you know what your hand is, and with 2 5-card suit, bid the highest one first. Yeah. North, so you bid 2 hearts and then bid 3 diamonds. So I think in that case, North is a little bit in the similar auction as the North hand that was facing a 2 diamonds and then a 3 club bid. You can either bid 3 hearts or you can bid 3 no trump. Does anyone want me to discuss if did any of the East hands overcall 1 spade? How the bidding could continue then? Yeah, on 3 hearts, you'd South bid 3 spades. I don't mind if South bid 4 hearts either, because it could still be right play 4 hearts on the 6-1 fade, so 4 hearts or 3 spades. Yeah, but certainly not anything more than that, or anything else than that. Okay, so 1 spade, 1 heart, east, 1 spade. So south can double to show the minors. I like to have a little more balanced hand for that. Or can bid 2 diamonds and then hope they can bid clubs later. So say if the south doubles, then west will bid 2 spades. North with a minimum and king, queen, third of spades will probably pass. So now it gets a bit hard because if south doubles again, north will probably bid 3 hearts, and now south is not so happy. If south instead had bid 2 diamonds here, west will bid 2 spades, north will probably still pass. Pass, and now south can bid 3 clubs. Pass, and now it kind of sounds like partner has a singleton heart. So north could bid 3 diamonds, I think. And I mean, yeah, it's also not a great contract. So it just 2 diamonds is forcing. Well, it depends on your agreements. Some people play it as non-forcing after overcall. I think the most standard is that it is 1 round forcing. So north cannot pass 2 diamonds, but if north responds 2 hearts or 3 diamonds or 2 no trump, south can pass. But I mean, you can also play it as non-forcing, and then you have to double with more hands. For instance, if you have a game forcing hand with 5 card minor, you would have to double 1 spade rather than bidding 2 diamonds. Okay. Any more questions about this hand? Okay, then I will go to board 9, sorry. So here, north is the dealer. North probably opens 1 diamond. East overcalls 2 clubs. So now what should south bid? Again, this is a question, is 2 hearts forcing? Is 2 hearts non-forcing? If 2 hearts is forcing, I like to just start by bidding 2 hearts. With 10 points, just jumping to game, it can make it very hard. You could easily have a slam, you have a good diamond support. Might be hard for partner to judge also later on how strong you are. So let's say south bids 2 hearts. West only has 5 points, but has very good club support. So west has to bid 3 clubs here. North can pass or can bid 3 diamonds. Does have a minimum hand. I think, yeah, both are okay. You do have a good diamond suit. Let's say bid 3 diamonds. So east has a good hand. Not a great club suit, but 4 card spades, and the opponent's bid hearts and diamonds, so maybe partner has spades. And also you don't really want to let them play 3 diamonds, so I would try bidding 3 spades here. And now it's south. South does have 7 hearts. They're not so good, but there are 7 of them. So I think I would try to bid 1 more time. 4 hearts. And west has 4 spades, but I think west by now... I think west has to pass 1 round. Try to tell partner the good news with 4 little spades and 5 points is... your question, should you bid 4 spades on this with west here? I don't think I would. So in that case, it would probably go pass, pass, pass. So what would you do if west doubles instead of bidding 3 clubs? So I think to double with the west hand, I would prefer to have a little bit more strength. This hand to me is really a 3 club bid. Like you have 5 hiker points, you have 4 little spades. So you do not want to steer partner too much in the spade direction, and also you really want to have a club lead. Like your partner overcalls 2 clubs, and I have ace check 4th of clubs. Like this is what I want to bid. Like if I have king 4th of spades and ace 3rd of clubs and something else, maybe I can bid double. But I think on this hand, I would really start by bidding clubs. Like your partner bids clubs, this is my best suit. Like do not try to confuse it too much. Just your partner bids your best suit. Raise them. Like don't start by doubling. Also show what's happening if 2 hearts is non-forcing. So if 2 hearts is non-forcing, then you're a little bit strong to bid 2 hearts because you only have 10 points, but you really do not want it to go pass, pass, pass. I mean, you have enough playing strength for game. So I think if 2 hearts is non-forcing, since I'm gonna bid game anyway, I would probably bid 3 hearts forcing. And now it's a bit hard for West because now he still wants to support clubs, but does he want to bid 4 clubs with 5 points and no shortness? So I think West can pass or can bid 4 clubs. Let's say West bid 4 clubs, but I do think it's a little bit tough. Now North will bid 4 hearts because 3 hearts shows 6 card suit here. And I mean, if partner bids 4 clubs, for sure East will bid again. So East can bid 4 spades or East can bid 5 clubs here. So we manifest doubles and it goes 3 diamonds, 4 spades. What would you do with the South hand? So that's if South bids 2 hearts, double, 3 diamonds, 4 spades. Well, I will not bid 5 hearts by myself on a suit that's missing the ace, king, queen. So I might try to bid 5 diamonds if my partner did bid 3 diamonds voluntarily. So I think in that case I will bid 5 diamonds. So that will be the bidding 2 hearts, double, 3 diamonds, 4 spades. Here I think I would bid 5 diamonds with South. Also, in this case, it's not as attractive to bid hearts. Normally, 4 hearts is of course 1 level lower than 5 diamonds, so that's also why it's so important to get the major in. I mean, here if you're gonna play on the 5 level anyway, you can just as well bid diamonds. It's not such a big difference. We make 5 diamonds, we make 5 hearts, we still get a game bonus. So in that case, it doesn't really matter so much. Why is 3 hearts forcing? That's only if you play 2 hearts as non-forcing. So if instead of 2 hearts, most people play it as 1 round forcing, but if you play 2 hearts as non-forcing, you have to have a bid that shows game forcing with hearts. So then 3 hearts would be game forcing with hearts. So that's kind of the other way around then. Well, if 2 hearts is 1 round forcing, this would normally be more kind of preemptive. If West didn't bid 3 clubs, East also bid 3 spades. If West does not support, I think you could still bid 3 spades, but then I think it is a little bit aggressive. I might still do it if instead of the ace king of hearts, I had king and 1 heart, and ace king 10 9 6 of clubs, so I had a little better suits. Now half of your points are in your doubleton in the opponent suits, which is normally like a red flag to not bid too much. So I think if West passes, if it goes 2 hearts, pass, 3 diamonds, I would probably pass with the Eastern just. 5 diamonds goes down. No, yes, 5 diamonds goes down. You miss the ace king of hearts and the ace of clubs, and it's pretty hard to get rid of those. So yeah, for sure 5 diamonds will go down. 4 hearts should make because the opponents the diamonds are 3-1 and they can make a rough, but it's with the ace king doubleton of hearts, so it doesn't really win them any tricks. And you can double 4 spades, that's also true. But 4 spades is actually, it's pretty close to making. If ace was stronger, would you bid 2 clubs and next round double instead of 3 spades? Yes, that's also fine. You could also do that. That also leaves the option of 3 no trump, usually open a little bit more, while bidding 2 clubs and then bidding 3 spades is really emphasizing bidding spades and clubs, and usually not as inviting to bidding 3 no trump. Of course, the advantage of bidding 3 spades is that it makes sure that partner knows you have 4 spades. Well, if you double, he might still bid 3 no trump with a stopper and 4 spades. So I mean, I think both are fine, and it depends also a little bit, on your suit quality and what your goal is with the hand. If you could think yourself playing 3 no trump or not. There are a lot of questions, which I think is great, but it also means that I easily could have missed something. I tried to read everything, but it went pretty fast, and there were a lot of questions. So I hope I got everything on this hand. And then there was one with the 8 card clubs on another board. Let me see if I can find that one. Board. Or if anybody directly knows the board number. 6. This one, yeah. Board 11, I guess. So the question is, what should you open with the north hand? Pass, pass. So you have 17 points with 8 clubs. Again, I think this is a hand that has enough playing strength by opening 2 clubs, but I don't really feel that it helps you so much because it probably goes like 2 clubs, something you can bid 3 clubs, and that's just hard for partner because you can have 5 clubs in a 4-card major, you can have 6 clubs, and you can have between 20 points to 28 points. So I think I would open 1 club and just see what happens, because it will not go pass, pass, pass on 1 club if I have 8 points. And actually on this end, it might start with bidding pass, pass, but I think West will reopen with a singleton club and 10 points and a partner that's not a pastime. So the question is 1 club, pass, pass, double. So you're very happy. You say, thank you, West, that you bid something. 7, 8, 9. So you kind of have 9 tricks in 3 no trump if you give away a club, but they might have a lot of tricks first also. So it is a very good question what you should bid here. Like maybe you should bid redouble, or maybe you should just give up on bidding 3 no trump. Your partner passes 1 club. They probably do not have a double stopper in spades. And they probably do not have an entry either. And we said we bid with an ace, so partner does not have the ace of spades. So maybe I just bid 3 clubs. So maybe if partner has something, you can still bid something. Or 4 clubs. Maybe you can bid 4 clubs. Or redouble. You can bid redouble and then bid clubs. That should probably, you're strong enough to bid redouble or bid clubs at basically any level. So for me, this, if I pass the redouble here, that means I want to play 1 club redouble, so I cannot do that. So you can bid, I mean, partner is a past hand, so you're not going to bid game. I might bid 1 spade to then bid hearts later, which makes it easy for partner to choose between the majors. So 1 spade. I don't know, I can see that's a double disc. Again, there's not really any like right or wrong here. There's so much that can happen on this board. It's so hard to predict how the bidding should go. This is just one suggestion. You bid 1 diamond in south. I mean, I think that's okay also. You do have 4-4 in the majors. Maybe there's a better contract for you in one of the majors. And I mean, I said earlier that I think you should bid with the ace. I mean, here you have a king and jack 10, 9, 4th. So I think it's fine to respond 1 diamond. Yeah. So there was a board east opened 1 diamond and north was in the balancing position. Would you maybe know what board number that was? Playing 1 club, 2 plus clubs. If you don't want to play 1 club doubled, what do? You mean with the north hand, if it goes 1 club, pass, pass, double? So for me, I would just pass for the time being. First of all, they might not pass. And then if partners, I mean, if they do pass, partner also knows that you might have 2 clubs. It's a very good question. So it goes 1, I guess this is how the bidding goes. So say that north is like 12 points and 4, 4, 3, 2. So for me, I would pass with that hand and then hope something for the best. I mean, it goes pass, pass. South knows that, I mean, they will have a lot of clubs. They don't pass 1 club double because they don't have another bid. I mean, if they don't have clubs, they can bid 1 diamond, 1 heart, 1 spade, anything they want. So normally if they W, their partner will try to run unless partner has clubs themselves. So also, for instance, not on this hand, but if I bid 1 heart here, I would expect to show clubs and hearts, not trying to escape from 1 club double, because I mean, they might not even pass 1 club double. Okay, board 6. So on board 6, East opened 1 diamond. I guess they play quick no trump, pass, pass, and now it's up to North. 12, North has 16 points. So I think in a direct position, I would probably have overcalled one heart because I feel this hand is a little bit weak to double and then bid one heart. But I think in a reopening position, you should double more often because there's less risk that the opponents will bid very high directly, which is normally a reason that you want to get in your suits rather than doubling. But now, since they passed one diamond, they are probably not going to be in 5 diamonds on the next bid. I mean, could be, but it's pretty unlikely. And also, you bid more aggressively here. Like there are hands that you might not have overcalled one heart, but you do want to reopen one heart. So the range is wider. So I think you should double here more often with fewer hiker points than it would be in a direct position. So I think North should double. East will pass. Yeah, 2 hearts is a good. Yeah, that's also a very good point. You can bid 2 hearts in a direct position. Most, or not everyone, but you could play that as weak. But 1 diamond pass, 2 hearts to play that as weak doesn't really make any sense. You do not have to preempt the opponents from anything. They just passed 1 diamond. So 2 hearts would be like an opening hand there with 6 hearts. I still feel this hand is a little bit strong for that. I would more think it's just like 12 to 14, 12 to 15. You have 16 points here, 3 aces. So I still think this hand is a little bit too strong. So now it's also interesting what should South bids. 4 spades, 6 clubs. I think, but that looks a little bit odd. I would bid 2 clubs. And I would think somebody is likely to bid something again. And then I can maybe bid spades or jump in spades later, because if I bid 1 spade, I might never be able to bid my clubs. I would think it's likely somebody will bid. I have a singleton diamond, maybe Best will bid 2 diamonds, and I can still bid spades later. So it could go 2 diamonds, and then North will bid 2 hearts. Pass, 2 spades. Yeah, and then again, it's not really sure exactly. Pass, maybe 3 diamonds here. Pass, 3 hearts. Pass, 4 hearts. Pass. Yeah, but most East probably plays strong no trump. So then East will open 1 no trump. 1 no trump. South, again, I said bid a lot when you are favorable, and South has 6-4, King 10 9 6 of clubs. So this is probably not a good example for what I said earlier on. But I would bid 3 clubs there. North will not be very happy, but I would bid 3 clubs. Yeah, my partner will not be very happy with me on this board, but normally my partner doesn't have 16 points if they open 1 no trump, so I try not to worry too much about that. 3 clubs, West pass. So North, what should North do? North not very happy. You don't think partner has a lot of hearts when they already have so many clubs, and you could try to gamble 3 no trump and hope they cannot take all the diamonds. This time they will easily do that. Ace, king, queen, 5th on lead. You can bid 3 hearts maybe, or pass. I don't know what is the right thing to do. But not everybody will bid with South, so then it might go pass, and then North, depending on your methods, could double if that shows a strong hand, or can bid hearts if you do not have double available as a strong hand. If you do have double available, I would certainly do that, because if South passes, it's fine, and if they bid 2 of a minor, you can still very comfortably bid 2 hearts. And if he has 2 spades, he probably has 5 spades, so you play don't. So if you play don't, you have to double, showing a 1 suited hand. And South will bid 2 clubs, pass you correct, and North will bid 2 hearts. And then you probably play it there. So I don't know. Are there any more questions about this board or any other board? Or you passed over 1 no trump? South doubled. Aha, sorry, South doubled. Okay, sorry. South doubled with 1 no trump, showing a 1 suitor. And West passed, North passed. I think that's fine with 16 points. I mean, South should have something for their bid. No, I quite like passed with 16 points. It probably went down quite a lot. Double 4 from 5 minor 4 from major. Okay, but still I quite like pass. I mean, you have 16 points and partner should have something to get into the auction. Ten of clubs. Pass, pass. Pass, so it went 10 of clubs. Low. Played the ace. Probably didn't find the low. So now South should play the 9 as a suit preference for spade. Because you can see partner might not have any more clubs. So now after the 9, because the partner didn't play the 9 of clubs, I would certainly play a heart. And I will probably go king and they can make 6 tricks. But after the 9 of spades, the partner says, like, do not play a spade. Please, partner, play a spade. So then you can play a spade low to the king and you can cash all the clubs. All right. I hope I didn't miss too many questions. And I hope you enjoyed. There will be another practice in 1 month. And I think it was with Simon the Wise, but I'm not really sure. But I'm sure it will be a great expert. And thank you all for all your questions and your engagements and playing. And I hope you enjoyed. And in a couple of days, I will try to send a brief summary of some of the boards that we went through. Not with maybe all the questions and all the comments, but with a few highlights. All right, thank you very much.